AEW figures are officially done, man. It's been a legendary run, but AEW action figures with Jazwares is officially coming to an end this year, and it is a sad day, man. It is a sad day. I remember back in 2020, maybe it was 2019 when they first showed these. I think we got first looks at New York Toy Fair or something like that, but way back, man, I remember when they plugged them on Dynamite, and I remember seeing them in hand. You know, they brought like the first prototypes to Chris Jericho and the Bucks, and they were showcasing them. Cody, I remember people putting up that Hurricane figure up next to that Cody at that toy show or whatever that was, and I remember just being so excited. I was so excited for these figures when they first showed them off, and, you know, getting a brand new, you know, look at some new action figures of a wrestling toy line from a different company that is not Mattel in this modern scale. You know, we knew they were going to be in modern scale. We knew that they were going to be alongside the Mattel WWE action figures that we love, and it was just a huge day. But yes, AEW action figures are officially done, and I think that this was reported on by Kyle Peterson first. And, you know, it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. We're going to get into it here today. But apparently the word on the street, or what is being put out there, is that the AEW Jazwares team was let go from the company all in one full swoop on Friday. And so they got rid of the AEW action figure team or design team. Whoever worked on the line there apparently is gone from Jazwares now. But I am hearing from a few other different sources that it was not just the AEW figure team. It was not just AEW getting laid off. It was a big move across the company. Apparently, a lot of people got laid off. It was not just AEW. Apparently, there were people all over the place in the company. I don't know exactly the tiers or who they were or where they were in certain order or whatever the case is, but apparently it was more than just the AEW team. So it wasn't just, oh, we're getting rid of AEW and going. This was a lot deeper than this. I think this is a bigger structural restructure, I guess you could say, of Jazwares and their internal affairs, I guess. But this is huge news because, as we know, I'd say over the last couple years, it has been very scarce as far as AEW figures are concerned. People reporting that their Walmarts and Targets stopped stocking them. You know, it was very hit or miss in terms of distribution. A lot of people couldn't find these figures in stores and things like that. And they have slowly but surely just kind of trickled away, man. And that's kind of just been what the effect has been for AEW action figures over the last couple of years. You know, they came out really hot. You know, I say came out really hot. You know, we know the issues of the AEW figure line, and I guess now that we know the line is coming to an end, we can do some more rankings, and we can get into the, you know, the greatest moments of the AEW action figures and maybe the lower moments as well, and just kind of get into it, man. But I don't give a damn if you hated this line, if you loved this line, whatever the case was. These AEW figures, man, I think that these are going to be looked upon as a moment in time that was pretty legendary, because you have to think about it in a lot of different ways, and I guess we can unpack that as this video goes on. But man, I cannot stress to you how big of a deal it was, and you can sound off down in the comment section below if you agree, disagree, whatever side of the coin you're on down below. But it was a massive deal. It was a huge deal to finally get not only modern day action figures of these certain characters, but to have actual posable, highly detailed, very much love and care put into these action figures of specific talents we have wanted for so many years in the wrestling action figure community. It cannot be overstated enough how huge these action figures were. You talk about these action figures we got of Kenny Omega, of Will Ospreay, of the Young Bucks, of Okada, of Jay White, of all of these different talents that we saw Jazwares get to make. It cannot be understated, man. You talk about MJF and Hangman and Darby Allin, and we even got to get my boy Wardlow in the line. It was such a big deal, and therefore a couple years, I guess a few years there, we were getting great product from Mattel, we were getting great product from Jazwares. So we had two different companies on the toy aisles making fantastic modern action figures that had good details, they were posable. Neither side batted 1,000, as we know, nobody bats 1,000. But my God, did we not have some legendary action figures, man? Let's just give some praise here. The Kenny Omega Supreme figures. Oh my God in heaven, man. Those figures right there are enough to get you out of bed in the morning, man. All of the Darby Allin figures were impeccable. Every single one of them were incredible. Just the feel in hand, the posability. You talk about the San Diego Comic-Con swerve that we got last year. unbelievable. We got a nice figure of Takeshita. We get Okada. We get Jay White, the Supreme Ospreay, the Shop AEW Ospreay, not to mention the Mercedes figures that we got. I mean, it is just unbelievable how many great figures we got from the Jazwares team. And now, it is very sad that they are gone, right? And I know that there are a lot of people that did not like them. They dunked on them every chance that they got. They didn't even really give them a whole chance. They came out of the gate with those super pale action figures, and they weren't the best production-wise. They were made in that one factory, and then they switched factories and everything like that. But it was just I am so glad that we were able to go through that and get the figure line in its heyday and get to experience it and get all these different characters in here. But I guess the next move is just, is this going to be it for AEW action figures in general? Are we going to see any more? Is somebody else going to pick it up and try their hand at it? I wouldn't foresee that, at least at this juncture. I feel like the action figure market in itself is just super crazy right now, and it would be really tough. I just think it would be really tough to get something off the ground in 2026 right now today. Just with everything that's happening in the world, man, it's like everything is so expensive. Gas is so expensive. Groceries, legitimately, it seems like every time I go to the store, the price raises by 10 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, whatever it is. And I don't know if anybody would pick up the AEW Jazwares or just pick up the AEW line in general and try to make action figures. I would love to see other people try their hand at it, even if it was just a couple characters here and there, or just one character here. One character per quarter, I would be fair to say. I would love to see somebody like Jada take a stab at it, or anybody really, but Jada would probably be the one that comes to mind just because they absolutely crush it in the modern day. They keep everything very affordable somehow. They pack in accessories and details and articulation. The feel in hand is fantastic, so I would like to see somebody like that take a stab at it if possible at all. But yeah, you're looking at maybe 1 to 3 figures or something like that, man. And I don't know what would come of that, but it is a sad day. I am very sad. I'm also sad for just the team and the designers and the people over there that work on these things. They are now without a job. We talk about WWE cuts and things like that. Those guys now are without a job, and that sucks to see. I hope that all those guys over there, the guys and gals, land on their feet and they absolutely crush it in their next endeavors. And, I don't know what, the future holds for them there, but I hope that they absolutely crush it in their next endeavor. But man, it just sucks, man. It really sucks. This means now, you'll go to Comic-Con, there won't be any new AEW figures. We're not going to be, I mean, I know that we have some AEW figures coming down the pipe, but I don't think we're going to get all of those. I would imagine maybe a handful of them. We did just recently get a few releasing from Jazwares Vault. That is probably how the rest of these are going to come out, besides a couple ringside exclusives here and there. But man, it really sucks, man. It really sucks. And I guess the writing's been on the wall. It's not like this is out of nowhere. It's not like they just put out a bunch of stuff and we're in the middle of it, and we're at the peak era, and then they just hit us with this out of nowhere. I think the writing's been on the wall for a while. We've made 2 or 3 videos talking about this already in the last year or so, right? We've had a couple, reports about it, and, it was not, it's not 100%, or, we're getting figures. And then I think the last time we heard from Jeremy, didn't he say something like, there will be AEW figures in 2026? And that was kind of the last statement on it. And I mean, yeah, we knew that there would be AEW figures in 2026, but it was very vague on if they would go that they would go past that. And it looks like that is the case. We will not be getting any more figures for the foreseeable future for AEW and Jazwares. But now, I guess if you want to go back and collect this line, if you want to go back and complete this line or go back and get figures and things like that, now you have an end mark. They are no longer currently making figures. I mean, again, we'll get a few more. I think that Darby with the flamethrower will probably come out. Hopefully we get some of these other exclusives that we've known about for a little while. I just don't think we're going to get too many after that, man. I mean, we just got the last wave through the door not too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago, a month ago, and there was only 4 figures in the set. And I think they're plugging that set on Jazwares Vault right now I think they already had them on clearance the last time I checked. So I don't know, man. It stinks. I am glad we finally got Kyle Fletcher in there. I'm so happy for the figures that we actually got to see from AEW and Jazwares. And, we got to see so many characters like we've talked about here in this video. And that is just such a big deal, man. I'm telling you, they satisfied so many customers in that way for creating those figures. And I've had so much fun with a lot of those figures. And again, say what you will about certain aspects of them, durability and different things about them. But the fact that you can get a really damn good version of a Kenny Omega or, the Young Bucks and these other talents we've discussed is just such a massive deal. I cannot overstate that. I am just so happy to have some of these figures in my collection after waiting what seemed like forever, thinking in your brain, oh, unless they come to WWE, we will never see these guys in modern action figure form for our collections. And then Jazwares steps up to the plate. They bring us these figures. Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to the design team. Even shout out to Magic for the magic that he was able to pull with some of those, AEW action figures that we used to see, man. So all of that was made possible by Jazwares and their teams over there. So you got to give a tip of the cap there. It may not have went completely how we wanted, or it may have ended here, but my God, they should be proud of a lot of the work that they had to show. They have a lot of work to show for what they have created over there, and they should be proud of it, man. They made a lot of damn good figures, and my God, it is a sad day because I hate to see this. I really wanted to see more figures, and there are some other figures that I hope we still see, at least here at the very end. But man, it does stink. It does stink. But I think, again, the writing's kind of been on the wall, man. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section about this news. How did you feel about it? Are you upset about it? Did you collect the line? Were you not really in on the line? But I think it's kind of cool now because now I can kind of go back and collect the figures that I maybe missed out on and fill the holes that I missed. I don't have every single AEW figure. There are a lot of ones that I am missing. I would like to go back and complete all the chases and make that a kind of a fun thing to do. And, man, it kind of can, it can make for a cool challenge. So we'll see what comes of that and how we set it up and everything like that. But I appreciate you guys so very much. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the great mothers out there and to everybody out there that has a fantastic mom in their life, man. Be sure to let them know today. Share some love and everything like that and tell them MDT said Happy Mother's Day. And a Happy Mother's Day to my beautiful wife and my mom as well, man, and all my grandmothers and everybody, man. I love y'all so much, and I'm just so thankful and blessed to have you guys. But I thank you guys so very much for watching. I want to know what you guys think of the AEW Jazwares line coming to an end here today, man. But man, it's sad. It's sad. I hate to see it, but at least we do have these fun action figures to look back on, man. But I appreciate you guys so much. Let me know your thoughts on this situation down below, and I'll see you guys next time.